So a couple of weeks ago, my wife took our toaster out of its hiding place in the cupboard and put some waffles in it for our two girls, a pretty typical morning routine, until we both started to smell melting, burning plastic. After looking around confused for a minute, we realized it was coming from the toaster and found out that our 1-year-old had put a small, a 1/4 teaspoon measuring spoon in the toaster when we weren't looking. Needless to say, we have a new toaster now. Westerners living in the 21st century, we're neophiles. We love new things, even something as simple as a brand new toaster. When the old one can't do its job very well anymore, when that happens, sometimes you just need something new. You hear God talking about something new to replace the old in Jeremiah. We already heard a little bit about God's covenant with Israel. We don't have a lot of covenants in our society anymore, unless you're part of a homeowners association or something like that. Basically, a covenant is a two-sided agreement, you scratch my back and I'll scratch yours kind of arrangement. God had that with his people. He told them if they listened to his law, if they obeyed his commands, made all the sacrifices and honored him alone as the true God, he would be their God and would bless them. That covenant didn't work out too well. Not because the covenant itself was bad, but because sin kept getting in the way. Even though God was right there leading his people by the hand, using awesome miracles to lead them away from their enemies, even though God kept his end of the bargain and then some, the people couldn't help but break the deal. Because the agreement was based on the law. And wherever the law is, the sinful nature that lives in each of us just wants to break it. What can God do? The old wasn't working. It couldn't work. As long as it depended on us and our ability, it was always going to fail. What would you do? Maybe the part of you that loves shiny new things is saying, get something new that'll work. And that's exactly what God did. He made a promise that someday the old covenant would be gone and something new would take its place. This new covenant, one that wasn't anything like the old, this new promise wouldn't be based on the law and performance. No, instead, it would all be based on God's love and mercy. Instead of making demands of people who could never fully follow through, the new covenant would offer forgiveness. It would be as if all those sins never even happened. Just like you and I look forward to getting new things, God's people looked forward to the day when he would keep his promise for something new. And we get to see how God kept his promise for something new to replace the old today. Our third lesson in God's promise for the new covenant is from Jeremiah 31. The days are coming, declares the Lord, when I will plant the house of Israel and the house of Judah with the offspring of men and animals. Just as I watched over them to uproot and tear down and to overthrow, destroy, and bring disaster, so I will watch over them to build and to plant, declares the Lord. In those days, people will no longer say, the fathers have eaten sour grapes and the children's teeth are set on edge. Instead, everyone will die for his own sin. Whoever eats sour grapes, his own teeth will be set on edge. The time is coming, declares the Lord, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. It will not be like the covenant I made with their forefathers when I led them by the hand to lead them out of Egypt, because they broke my covenant, though I was a husband to them, declares the Lord. This is the covenant I will make with the house of Israel. After that time, declares the Lord, I will put my law in their minds and write it on their hearts. I will be their God, and they will be my people. No longer will a man teach his neighbor, or a man his brother, saying, know the Lord, because they will all know me, from the least of them to the greatest, declares the Lord. For I will forgive their wickedness, and will remember their sins no more. This is the word of our God.